Is this really happening?
Hope so. It took us long enough.
After a long and consistent friendship between Carly and Freddie, there's officially some good news for the Creddy shippers, as the romance between them finally blossomed. There's no better way for love to arise than through friendship, which is how Carly and Freddie started. Before becoming friends, it was obvious that Freddie had a big crush on Carly in the original series. And ever since then, Freddie never failed to remind Carly how much he loves her and always wants to be around her.
I'm in love with you, you just want to be friends, and I'm totally cool living with that constant pain.
Also, from their 6th grade, Freddie wanted nothing more than to have Carly as his girlfriend. But Carly didn't want to be more than just friends. Not because she didn't like Freddie, but because she wasn't particularly interested. However, it's kind of crazy, because Freddie never stopped talking to her about it. And in many instances, such advances ruin friendships and make them have a falling out. But Carly was never mad that Freddie kept making advances even though she didn't want it. She became more endearing towards him, which undoubtedly confused Freddie more on where to stand, and left them in this situation where romantic love looks possible but also very unachievable. Carly's kindness and gentle way of turning Freddie down in subtle "not now" comments are an assurance depending on how you choose to look at it. It gave Freddie this confidence that maybe Carly would someday return his love in the same measure, which she did anyway, but not until a lot had happened. So Freddie never gave up, and they got to date in the episode I Saved Your Life. They did date, but not how it should have happened according to Freddie. The relationship was initiated when Freddie practically saved Carly's life from being hit by a taco truck, which he achieved by jumping in to save Carly as she crossed the street. And from his heroic act, Freddie got some injuries to tell his story. And of course, Carly was deeply moved by this, as she was surprised that Freddie would do anything for her. So for the first time, Carly muttered those sacred words saying she loved him, and they also had their first kiss. Carly felt it was just right to return Freddie's love after saving her life, and it's complicated because it was as if she owed Freddie, and there was no better way to pay than to love him back. However, Sam could smell the deceit in Carly and Freddie's relationship and had to convince Freddie that Carly only loved him because he saved her life, and that it wasn't true love. So Freddie had to call it off with Carly until the heroic and saving of life thing cooled off.
If you still want to be my girlfriend, I'd be really psyched about it.
And this doesn't just show how considerate and selfless Freddie is, but it explains his maturity too. Even though he finally got a chance to see what being in a relationship with Carly feels like, he let it go because it wasn't genuine enough, and Freddie didn't want it to seem like he was taking advantage of Carly just because he saved her life. Even though it wasn't made official, their love for each other continued wavering in the 5th season of the original series, and it was obvious that the tension between them all translated to romantic feelings. And interestingly, Freddie still didn't give up on asking where they stood in their friendship.
Is it too late for you to love me?
What?
Nothing.
Fortunately, before the original series ended, a happy ending showed that the feelings between Carly and Freddie were mutual, except they didn't last long. In the I Goodbye episode, when Carly was getting ready to travel to see her father in Italy for a while, the two couldn't help but reveal every romantic feeling they've had for each other, especially Carly, who's very good at disguising hers. While saying their goodbyes, Carly couldn't help but reveal how much she loves Freddie at the iCarly studio, and even gave Freddie a goodbye kiss, which sounds like a perfect love scene. And Freddie, who was beyond glad by this loving gesture, returned the kiss and savoured the moment while placing a hand on Carly's waist. They found it hard to go apart soon after, as they had the most awkward goodbyes, and Freddie was overjoyed. He finally got the girl, except he didn't. With how the original series ended, it looked like a happy ever after kind of deal. Many would have expected Carly and Freddie to stay true to it while Carly was in Italy, but the iCarly revival series broke many hearts by revealing Carly and Freddie remained friends a year after she returned from Italy. So Carly and Freddie being all over each other while partying to become just friends when they met again showed that they were only missing each other and nothing more. Since they've been friends, Carly and Freddie were always around each other, and the thought of Carly going far away for so long must have heightened their emotions, which soon returned to normal when Carly got back. But then, even if their romantic bonding always failed, one thing that remained constant was their friendship and care for each other. However, one of the first hints at romance between Carly and Freddie in the revival series was during Neville Papperman's wedding, where they had a romantic dance which takes fans back to how sweet it was when they did the same kind kind of dance in the episode I Speed Date in the original series. And even when a lot had already happened between them to keep them separated for life, it was still obvious that they loved each other. So, iCarly Revival, which picks up 10 years later, revealed much has happened since the original series. And as adults, the series explores their romantic friendship very deeply, making it obvious that after all these years they still found a way to drift back to each other. Their love story as an adult is even more complicated because they've been in a platonic relationship for so long that they become unsure of how to act around each other. When Freddie joined Carly after Harper cancelled the girls' planned trip, Freddie and Carly took the honeymoon suite. Although it was a compromising position, they tried to have fun and enjoy just being friends, which worked well until a song about passionate relations started to play, and the tension was so visible here that they knew it would be hard to remain friends, as they were very attracted to each other. Also, in I Return to Webicon, some iconic moments between Carly and Freddie kept their hearts beating for each other. When Wes and Bo told Carly they were in love with her, Freddie looked jealous and almost moved to say something because he loved her before Wes and Bo came into the picture. In the same episode, knowing how greatly Freddie has inspired and stood by Carly, it's not surprising that she thanks him for his support while accepting her award. Except that what Carly feels for Freddie exceeds thanksgiving, because as she accepts the award, she looks at Freddie with a longing face of wanting to say something to him. And it's so glaring that the words they both couldn't say to each other are being said with their heart. And the attraction and feelings they have for each other may have paused for a while, but its revival would be crazy. Later, viewers discovered that Carly had dropped Wes and Bo on their return from Webicon, but it somehow backfired because Wes and Bo became friends and embarrassed her, which made her fans and the rest of the world detest her. So it got worse because Wes shamed Carly and told her she would never be able to get a boyfriend, and Freddie came to the rescue again and pretended to be dating Carly, leading to a fake relationship. But because their dating was fake, everything seemed forced. Even when fans asked them to kiss, it looked so frustrating. And because it wasn't real, they had to break up for their fake relationship, which hurt. Despite all of that, they kept spending more time with each other. But Freddie became less comfortable being beside Carly because the presence of her former manager, Paul, always terrified him. But Carly couldn't do without having Freddie by her side, and she had to force them to work out their differences using an escape room. And Carly revealed to Freddie that she wouldn't have been able to pull through iCarly without him, which was very honest and made Freddie feel more relaxed. At the end of season 2, Freddie's girlfriend Pearl wanted to give Freddie a well-deserved birthday celebration, but she didn't know him too well as Carly did to give him a befitting birthday party. So Carly had to take over the plans and make it a 70s themed birthday party that Freddie loved and appreciated. However, Carly later revealed to Freddie that she planned the party to his taste, and Pearl couldn't help but appreciate the feelings between them, which she mentioned, and neither Carly nor Freddie could deny it. The back and forth friendship, constant jealousy and crazy tensions between them continued until they realized their love was stronger than anything or any other people they've tried to be with. So Freddie broke up with Pearl and chose Carly. And in the latest episode of the iCarly Revival series, they got to recreate memories of the big events in their life. And Carly finally said the words that Freddie wanted to hear many years ago.
I like you, Freddie Benson. And I want to be with you.
But that's not all for this happy episode. Freddie made Carly understand that being her friend isn't a consolation prize for being unable to date her. So Freddie's maturity and selflessness came into play again when he told Carly that he wouldn't lose their friendship, even if their newly updated relationship didn't work out later. And with that in mind, Carly and Freddie shared their first kiss as a true and new couple in love. So, what do you think of Carly and Freddie's love story and how they're only becoming a couple many years later? Share your thoughts in the comments and thanks for watching.